Got some in the mail. Looks like it's a Franklin. Wonder what this is. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paddle Addicts. Today we got another banger of a paddle. As you saw in the title, guys, we got the Franklin C45. Let's unbox this thing. So very excited for this paddle. Probably one of the most hyped paddles in the same realm of the New Yolas, True Foams, all that good stuff. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Pretty good grit. C45. I'll put the specs on the screen right now for the C45. It is a 14mm hybrid shape paddle, as you could see. This paddle is extremely light. As you could see by the swing weight, averages from 103 to 106, and static weight is 7.6 to 7.8, somewhere around there. The twist weight's extremely low at 5.6. But if you guys watch any other reviews, you guys know we are gonna weight this thing up because it is way too light. Especially for me, I like a heavier paddle, roughly in the realm of 118 as far as swing weight. So this is gonna be very interesting to customize when we get to that portion. Some key points about this paddle. They call it the C45 primarily because of the face layup. They are all unidirectional carbon fiber layers, but what makes the difference between the C45 is that the base layer is oriented at a 45-degree angle, the middle layer is 0-degree angle, and the base layup right here is gonna be another 45-degree angle. So the difference between that and other carbon fiber base materials, which just use 90-0-90, is that because it is in the 45-degree angle, this is a lot less stiff. So I feel like the 45-degree angle helps shape the ball a little bit better because it is less stiff and kind of makes spin a lot easier. So I'm eager to try that out. Also, this is a Gen 3 construction paddle, dual layer of foam internally with just a usual polypropylene honeycomb core. They did a different process in this in which they did a double thermoforming. You can check out other reviewers, they go more into it, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how this Franklin plays. I've never played with a Franklin. I've just held their other series paddles, but they were extremely heavy, weighting around 120 plus for swing weight. So they really went on the other end for this. Very light, very customizable, which is gonna be great for people who like customizing, adding weight and all that good stuff to their paddles. And that is me. Shout out to Santa Barbara Pickleball Shop. If you're ever in the Santa Barbara area, don't forget to hit them up for any and all paddle and pickleball gear needs. Thank you guys. Thank you, Carlos, so much for sending this out. Before we get to the customization portion, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It truly helps. But yeah, let's finally add some weight to this baby. It's way too light for my liking, so let's do it now. And we're back, guys. Finally was able to weight this baby up. Thank you to you, Drippin, for supplying all the needed weighting as well as overgrips to customize this Franklin C45. So let's dive into it. First and foremost, I did take off the OEM Franklin grip because this is a 4.3 circumference grip. I much prefer a thinner grip, so I took the stock grip off and I added a Pro Tour in white on the base layer as well as another Pro Tour in white as an overgrip, and it is a much better circumference for my preference. Secondly, the most important thing, the weight. I added 10 inches of 0.5 per inch gram U-Drippin tungsten tape on both sides, from the bottom of the throat up to around right here, as you can see. Additionally to the weight, I added 2 grams on the bottom butt cap. I felt like it would be a good counterpart to all the weight up here, but it's still, estimating it now, it started out stock as a 7.6 ounce. I believe now it's an 8.11-ish roughly, and I'm thinking this is around a 115 swing weight and probably a 6.7, 6.8 twist weight. So definitely much improved with all the customization. If you do get this, if you do like customizing, you definitely need to add some weight on here. If you like the fastest paddle on this earth, fast hands, all that good stuff, you're prone to tennis elbow, definitely leave it stock or add only a little bit of weight. I prefer bigger swing weight, more plow through, so that's why I added all the weight. But still pretty light, still able to have quick hands in the kitchen, but still have a bigger sweet spot and more plow through for more power. But enough of this customization. Let's get out of here and go play test the Franklin C45. So in the kitchen, the C45 really excelled in my opinion. Just because it was a 14 millimeter that was extremely light before weight, I feel like with the weight, the dinking, the kitchen play, the touch was amazing. I was able to backhand, forehand, place dinks in certain places where I was very surprised because I thought since the pop level was a little higher than usual compared to other paddles, it was gonna be kind of hard to dink, but I was very surprised when I adapted, played a couple games and got used to it pretty quick. Very good in the kitchen. Now for the drops and transition zone, the drops were easy to connect with, to place. It was pretty natural in my opinion as far as how I drop from the baseline to get to the kitchen. So very good. Really like the drops and the feel on that. Drives were amazing. With the maneuverability of this paddle, it really helped me whip and plow through as far as driving and serving as well. Going into the power and pop, I would categorize this around the Paddletech Bantam range as far as power. You have to swing a little harder for drive and power shots, but with the added weight, it really helped with the plow through for power. Pop, it was kind of like the higher end. I don't think it was to the Paddletech Bantam range, but it was at that level. A lot more than the Perseus Pro 4 series. So I had thought I would have trouble with that in the kitchen as far as aggressive backhand and forehand flicks, but it was pretty good, pretty controllable. And this paddle can be offensive when you want it to be. Sweet spot was pretty nice. As you could see, I weighted it up from before I play tested this, but just to show you, I added a little bit more weight. I added around 4 grams of 1/2 gram per inch tungsten tape as well. I also added a 6 gram flick weight at the bottom of the handle to help with the balance point and add a little bit more static weight for the feel, because this came out, like I said, to 7.69. So this is really light. All the weight, my weight setups really help. Towards the throw, it feels lacking even with the weight, but my striking area is towards the top middle. So adding the weight to this top really helped broaden the sweet spot, especially with the way I hit. Spin wise, it was adequate. I feel like I would have to exaggerate my top spin a little bit harder because I don't think there's a lot of dwell on it. It's not as trampoline-y as, you know, maybe the Flamingo, but still a slight dwell on it because of the Gen 3 construction. The ball feel is very middle of the road. I feel like on off-center shots, I could feel them, but not as harsh as, like, let's say a Paddletech. Other than that, when you do hit that sweet spot, it is semi-plush. So I don't think it's as plush as the Yola Pro 4 Perseus 16 millimeter, but it is in the middle between the 16 millimeter and 14 millimeter Pro 4 Perseus. I would categorize this paddle into the lower end of power paddles. Like I said, it's in the same realm of Paddletech Bantam power, but not as powerful as the 3S's, the Pro 4s, any of that sort. But it's a good controllable power if you really work on it and harness what type of paddle this is. And that's why this has become my main paddle as of right now. And I could tell you this is like any other reviewer, it's very hard to main a paddle knowing the fact that we get paddles every week, trying them out, doing play tests. So for this to come out in the crazy amount of good paddles that have came out in the last couple months, that goes to show what type of paddle this is. Now, who is this for? This paddle is for somebody that likes to tinker like myself. I like to customize almost every paddle that I review and use. As you can see, I added all this weight on here because this is probably the most customizable high-end paddle out there right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my review for the Franklin C45. I truly hope this helped. I love this paddle. I can't recommend this enough for the type of person, like I said, this paddle's for. They are coming out with more shapes and thicknesses as well. I believe they're coming out with elongated with 14 and 16 millimeter, as well as a standard shape 14, 16 millimeter as well, if that's more your flavor. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. This has been an amazing journey. I hope to review a lot more paddles, so hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with Paddle Addicts. Till the next review, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.